All right, I won't keep you hanging around any longer, so let's get started. As you can see, we're going to record this webinar, and I'm going to share my screen here. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah, awesome. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about how to engage residents using Neighbors by Vinteum. Please ask any questions that you have by putting them in the Q&A box as well as in the chat, and we'll answer them at the end. So send them whenever inspiration strikes, whenever you get a question, but we are going to be answering questions at the end to not break the flow. All right, so let's go for a quick introduction. I think most of you know me, but for those who don't, my name's Layla. I am British Belgian. I grew up in Belgium and I studied in the UK at the University of Southampton. I studied languages, slightly strangely, but I've been working here at Vinteum since 2018. And I started in the customer support department before moving into marketing, and now I do a bit of both. And outside of work, I enjoy reading and walking my dogs. I have quite a few dogs, so I love walking them. And Daniel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm Daniel, the Customer Success Analyst of Neighbors by Vinteum. Some of you might recognize me from our onboarding and training meetings. I'm a Bolivian business graduate with an MBA in project management. I love backpacking, camping, and history. I joined Vinteum back in 2019, starting with sales, and then I moved into CS last year. My main responsibility is taking care of the onboarding process, as well as offering constant support and training. I serve as the account representative for all our clients, being their main point of contact during the onboarding process and after it. This also means that I'm the person responsible for the support chat and the phone line. I also work with the tech team to report any issues and report back to clients once they have been solved. And on this webinar, I would like to talk about what you can expect. On this webinar, we're going to address several points on how you can improve engagement in your community. For instance, what can you and your residents expect when you roll out a new software? How you should start implementing the system and portal to your normal operations to start using it on your everyday. And lastly, we're going to take a look into the resident profile and see how it can benefit your community.
Awesome, thank you, Daniel. So let's get straight into it and see what you can expect when you roll out a new software. So when you make any kind of change, it's always difficult. Whether it's moving house, moving schools as a child, or rolling out new software, change is always going to be hard. And if you're the one implementing change and really pushing it, as well as creating a new way of doing things, that is going to be a challenge. So when you announce that you're going to be doing something new, you can expect something like you can see on the graph. It shouldn't be quite as what's the word? Strong as the emotions here. I don't think anyone will go into depression over a new software, but what you can expect is 3 distinct stages. The first one being shock, followed by anger or frustration, and then finally we get into the good bit, which is acceptance and integration. So as the instigator of this change, you need to be patient with your residents. They are going to be frustrated. They are going to have questions. So just be persistent. Keep repeating the reasons that you are making the change, that you are rolling out this new software, and the benefits that they are going to experience when it's implemented. By communicating your very solid reasons. I'm sure you have a few reasons for wanting to create new software, implement it for the first time, or switch software. Let residents know, be transparent about why you're doing this, and that will make a big difference. You can use the communication tools that you currently use, so a newsletter, meetings, maybe you have a website at the moment, maybe you just have a notice board. Whatever you have at your disposal, use them. And by communicating constantly, you should be able to push residents through stage 1 and 2 and into stage 3. To get to the very last stage, integration, you need to invite everyone to the platform and then you need to keep on using it. So at Vinteum, we can provide you with tools, with information that can help you, but it really is you that pushes residents to become more engaged. What we found is if the board and the manager use it and use it regularly, to manage the community association, to send out communication to residents, it will become an accepted part of community life and just part of the day-to-day running of the community, HOA or condo. So how do you roll out new software? Well, to make it fully integrated, you need to prepare your residents early. So when you have decided what software you're going to move forward with, you need to announce that change, announce that decision, and be clear as to why you made the change and why you chose that particular software, what you saw in it that is going to make such a difference. Then start to lay down that groundwork. To get started with Neighbors by Vinteum, you need up-to-date residents information, especially their emails. So check if the board has it. If they don't, maybe the manager has that. If not, try to collect it. Send out surveys, use your newsletter to collect that information. While Daniel is setting up your account and you're being trained and getting to grips with how to use it, keep on talking about the change that you're making, the new software that you've bought, so that people don't forget about it. If you talk about it once, people might not be listening, they'll forget. So keep on repeating yourself. We have a flyer that we can share with you that explains a little bit about the system, its benefits, and provides your new website as well as the email that they're going to receive. So when you're ready, you can then send out an email to all your residents to get them to create their password and log into the system. And this is the stage where material that we can provide for you, such as our help center, videos, step-by-steps, as well as our manuals, can really come in handy. So share them with residents, use the system to push them out so that residents know about them. And that will make a big difference for them understanding how the system works. And then it's really up to you to keep on using the system. So send emails, make it super clear that that's where they upload maintenance requests, that's where they book amenities, that's where they can find documents and anything else that you want to centralize in one place. Make it clear that that's where they do it. Because truly, by you using it, you help to engage residents. If you have a lot of residents that don't use the internet, which is relatively common, then manuals can help them understand it, but then we also have text and smart call features that will help to engage them. So even if they can't fully use the system, they still receive some communications and still receive benefits of it. But that are all my ideas. But what do our clients say about it? We ask clients how they engage with residents. And these are some of the answers that I love the most. So the first client, called Mark, told me that he communicated with residents about the change, about the new software at board meetings. And really notice the plural there. It is board meetings, because you really do need to keep repeating yourself and making it clear. So he sent out emails, he kept making announcements, him and the rest of the board. The second person told me that they emailed out our hyperlink, and this is a really great idea. We can provide a self-registration form which ensures that you get the correct information from residents. So if it's difficult for you to get the information off them about emails, up-to-date contact information, this form can really help because the residents input that information themselves. And then also it's good because when they first get in contact with the system, by seeing that link, by using that form, they're forced to use it for the first time. So they can't just create their password and not do anything. They really do have to fill in that information, which helps them get used to the layout of the system. And then finally, a different mark said that what was helping them, and they are still in the process of engaging residents, but what was helping was using virtual meetings. This is a really great example of how to centralize day-to-day community activities in one place. By using our virtual meetings tool, you can have a hybrid meeting, which is very in at the moment. So you could have a meeting in person and also online through our system. It's also worth mentioning that all three of these clients said that the average age in their community was 50 plus. So if you're concerned with older residents using the system, getting used to a new software, you're correct to be worried. It can be a slower process, but it does happen. You can engage them and they can start using it. All right, I have talked enough. Daniel.
All right, well, thank you for that, Leila. And following up with what you were just saying, we provide you all with a plethora of materials that you can use and share with your community to make sure the entire process is easier and you can also promote engagement. These materials include the resident and administrator manuals, training videos, an invitation template, and all the online resources that you can find at your disposal on our help center. Please feel free to use them. Repetition, persistence, and patience are key elements in increasing engagement. So you might need to share and promote the materials on repeated occasions, like Leila mentioned, before you notice residents using the system more and more. For this reason, we recommend you show and use the system in every chance you have. Every meeting, every committee meeting, every chance is a good chance. Remember that use promotes use, and with time, people, staff, and residents will feel more comfortable using the system and the portal. And for you to have a better idea of the benefits of the system and everything they can provide you, we are now going to show you what a resident profile looks like. And I'm going to share my screen. All right. So this is what a resident will see when they first log in into the system. And the first feature they access is this home one. This home feature provides you this front menu. And the sole purpose of this feature is to facilitate the navigation of the system for residents, because this allows you to access the same locations of the system that this side menu does. Again, this front menu allows you to reach the same locations of the system that this side menu does. This is only to make it easier for the residents to navigate the system. After home, we have dashboard, where you'll find a summary of everything that's happening in your community. Here, residents can see any recent notices, social network posts, can click on it, can see the attachments, can click on new notices, and be up to date with everything that's happening inside their community. They can also see any service requests they have going, reservations, and any upcoming events as well. They can also interact with the system right here and create new service requests or reservations, making it easier for residents to interact with the system and have engagement. After dashboard, we have My Unit. This is one of the most important areas for the system for a resident, because this is where residents can control their units. They can add, invite, and delete any other residents that may have, as well as add any vehicles and pets they may have. For example, Chuck, my imaginary dog. They can also manage their visitors by releasing access, like I did here with my friend Josh. Residents can control what visitors they allow in by a period of time or indefinitely. And after they inserted all their invitation or their guest details, they can just use the fast search to look for them more easily. That is everything that you can do here on My Unit. And besides that, a resident can also add additional emails and emergency contacts for all the residents as well. After My Unit, we have community news. This is where, if you use it with patience and persistence, you can improve the transparency and trust all around your community with its different tools. And the first tool of it is notices. Notices are meant for important pieces of communication that the board would like to share with either the entire community or specific sections of it. Notices generate communication blasts, and these blasts include an email and can also include an SMS and a push notification. That way, it provides you with a different venues of communication to make sure you are reaching the entire community. So like Leila mentioned, maybe you don't have the emails of everyone, they can still receive an SMS, a smart call, etc. You have different venues of communication. And after notices, you find social network. This serves as your community's little own Facebook or discussion forum, depending on how you like to see it. Here is where residents can truly interact with each other and help you create that community hub in the system. Here's where residents can post, comment, and like each other's posts to help you create that community culture, as well as increase engagement. Of course, administrators can um, interact with every post and delete any inappropriate comments or posts. That way you also have accountability. Social network provides you the different subsections. For example, if someone is trying to sell anything, unclassified, etc., to again help you create that interaction between residents. And then after social network, we have contacts. Contacts is another really important part of the system for residents because this is your directory. And thus, this is the main way in which residents can find other residents and message them if they allow it. By default, all information that is provided to us is set for residents as private to other residents. And they can choose if they would like to share any of this private information with other residents, as well as they can choose if they would like to be sent private messages or not. This means that the resident has complete control over their privacy. They control their privacy by clicking here on profiles and going to settings. Here is where residents, we can choose to share any or all of our information or none of them with other residents, as well as if we want to be contacted via private messages or not. Here, resident can also control their notifications, what a resident would like to be notified and on what. So, for example, let's say that a resident doesn't want to receive any emails regarding notices. Then that resident just need to click here, click that section off, and click on save. From that moment on, that resident won't receive any notices regarding emails. In that way, a resident can control over their privacy as well as what notifications they receive and on what, increasing their engagement and of course their user experience quality. Here under contacts, you can send messages to the person who allows it, and you can also find and see other people who have a role inside the community. You can differentiate them with this helping hand with a button on top, as well as the role beneath their name. If they allow the private to send the messages, and you do send a message, all the messages that you sent are gonna be handled under one location, that is chat right here. Here is where residents can control order chat and message directly to other residents as well as any groups they may belong to. For example, committees, book clubs, etc. They can also do so very easily. And similar to the chat feature, we have the different talk tos. That this is a direct channel of communication between the resident and specific profiles. And this, of course, helps you and your community facilitate the communication between residents and specific individuals. So if a resident or a community doesn't know what's the name of the property manager but needs help, etc., they can click here on Talk to Manager and create a direct channel of communication between everyone with a property manager profile. And following the same examples, Talk to Concierge connects residents with everyone with a concierge profile, and Talk to Staff connects all residents with everyone with a staff profile. This makes communication easier for residents and increase the usability of the system. Moving forward from chat and all the different talk tools, we have, going up a bit, community calendar. And this is how all the different activities and events in your community can be organized in a transparent and organized way, good looking way, may I add. You can click on any of them right here and you can see the details of the events, where they will take place inside the community, at what time, all the details that residents need to participate. This will increase, of course, the participation of the residents. It will help you reach quorum for important meetings. And let's remember that you can have serious events or activities like a board meeting, or fun ones like a bingo night. Everything that will help you create that interaction between residents and foment that community culture. So after community calendar, we have service requests. This serves as a work ticketing system. Is where residents can, as the name suggests, request attention for the board. They do so by adding different requests based on different subjects set by the board, and then the board can route them to the best person responsible. This allows you to have everything in just one location, as you can see here. All the communication flow between the resident and the requester, everything will be kept here with all attachments, and I can reply, and everything will be kept here, which will allow you for a faster resolution for that request, whatever it may be. If that resident created this request under a wrongful subject, you can change it, you can close it, everything to help you manage that resolution. And at the end, the resident will be able to rate the satisfaction with how that service was handled. And that will also provide you more accountability and interaction between residents. After service request, we have a package. Packages is a way that is a really interesting feature that allows community to track and notify residents when they receive a package or when a package is waiting for them. They will all be handled like this. Residents can see at what time they arrive, the package arrived, at what state, with a picture, and that way will help you improve the safety and the usability of the system, as well as the accountability. People can access all details, and that way as well help your community get rid of those porch thieves. No one likes them, right? So after packages, we have reception. Reception is where residents can grant access to their visitors, friends and family, etc. They can also do so, if you will remember, under My Unit. However, they also have they have the different feature under reception, where they can also grant access for a specific period of time or indefinitely. And they can access all the reports of previous visitors, etc., to help you with board meetings and accountability as well. Again, after the resident has created their information of a visit, they can use the fast search to make the process a lot smoother. And that is it with receptions. Now we move forward with incident reporting. Incident reporting is our violation reporting tool, and this allows you to increase the conflict resolution capabilities inside your community and make everything easier, as well as keeping it private. That way there's no prying eyes, there's no problems regarding the residents in this resolution. They do so by clicking here on the green plus button and selecting that everything that may have happened, add an attachment as well. And the board can also create an incident reporting on behalf of the board, in behalf of the community itself. And that is everything with incident reporting. This will allow you to improve the conflict resolution inside your community while maintaining the privacy of everyone involved. Moving forward, we have amenities, where residents can start reserving and using the different facilities inside your communities. As you can see, And the board can include if an amenity has any limit of capacity. In this COVID world is very common, as well as any fee related to it. And a resident just needs to click on any amenity that they want to use. They will be able to see if they are occupied, at what times and days. They can just click and select what time they want to use that amenity and click on reserve. It's that easy. That will help you promote the usage of the facilities in your community, as well as increase resident satisfaction and engagement. You can also see all the reservations that a resident made, they were pending, in different options right here. Then moving forward from amenities, we have documents. Here in their documents, a resident can access all the different files, folders, and subfolders being allowed and published by the board. They can access the file by clicking on it, or they can just download it, whatever works easier for you. This way they can access any board meetings, minutes, and any important documents that need their attention. And of course, they will also help you create and foment the use of the system. A good solution, I will recommend you consider adding the different materials that we provide you, like the tutorial manuals, etc., right here for easy access for your residents as well. After documents, we have meetings, where when a meeting has been set by the board, like it is here, people can register their attendance and access the meeting itself. This is a very interesting feature because it's one of our most innovating ones. This is an integration that we have in place with Zoom. And this allows you to have and access this Zoom meeting without having to pay for a Zoom account. The recording will be available for everyone after the meeting has been finished. And this allows you, because it's an online meeting, to have quorum, make decisions, and keep the workflow of your community going, even if a lockdown comes back in place. If it doesn't matter. You have quorum, you have the ability to make decisions. And you can also have different votings set through here as well. Which leads me to the next feature and the last feature for our resident, that is voting/survey. Here is where, once a committee or a voting or a survey has been created by the board, a resident can access it. You can see the details. If it's published, it can see the details. It can vote if it's open still. And once the voting has been closed, you will be able to see the results of it right here. Of course, they will help you give voice to the residents and increase their engagement in the community affairs, as well as using the system. And lastly, what I would like to show you is how a resident can actually manage their account and change their things, because the usage of the system depends on the resident feeling comfortable using it. And by clicking here on profiles, they can go to my accounts, and residents can change their personal information, change their emails, passwords as well, everything to help them feel more comfortable using the system. If they have more than one profile added to them, they will also have this option where they can change between profiles. For example, if they are a board member and a resident. They can also click here on settings that we already went through, as well as log out of the system. And this is everything that I like to show you from the residence profile.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. So what we're going to jump into now is our Q&A section. So we've already had a couple of questions come in. So Lavaria has asked, can residents remit monthly assessment payments through our website? And if so, is there a charge to the association or resident? So currently we don't accept payments through our website. We have a couple of integrations. One is with Zigo. So if you have a Zigo account, you can access it through Neigbrs. And we're also developing an integration with QuickBooks, which eventually will be able to accept payments. Currently, it's in the beta stages, and you can view invoices. And then, can you customize the website to use features that would be most used by the community? Yes, yes, you can, depending on what features you want and what plan you have. You can customize them to appear in the menu or not. And then finally, can you relabel some of the buttons on the dashboard? So we don't allow for that level of personalization because it would be very difficult for us to offer support if everything was named differently. So we don't allow for that. I hope that answers your questions, Laveria. And I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. Does anyone else have any questions? You can send them in the Q&A as well as in the chat section of Zoom. Ooh, Kate. How do you get older residents who don't use the internet to use software? So with a lot of patients, you can send out videos which really help, so to step by step, so that they can read what they're meant to be doing exactly. And our help center has both of those things. And we also make personalized videos for communities that request it to help them with that. But as I mentioned, we also have text and smart calls. So you just type in the text and it will send a call to the resident's phone. That's very helpful. And also text can be sent out automatically. So if they booked an amenity, they can be reminded of that, for instance. Colette, will this webinar be available for those who could not attend? Yes, we're recording it now and we're going to send out the recording by tomorrow.
And I think David Dickinson made another question on the chat.
Does it make sense? Go for it, Daniel. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Does it make sense to choose a couple of residents as guinea pigs to see how the phase-in works and what glitches show up? It does make sense. It does make sense. Of course, the more value of the system is when you can interact with a large amount of people and you can see and provide value to them. However, you can have that test run if you wish, and have a fuller experience of the system, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen clients doing that more and more as well. And I do think it's a really good idea because you can see what issues they run into and see how you can help all the other residents, as well as asking us better questions about how the system works. So I think it's a really good idea. Lavaria also wants to know if our website is mobile friendly. So we have an app of the portal, which we really recommend using. So for residents that are on the go, especially working professionals and so on, it's really great to use the app. And we also provide public facing websites, which are available for access on phone as well. And then Thomas wants to know, do any of our customers offer personalized training? So Daniel is the one here who offers the training. So we provide training for all of our clients, and we do that for everyone. So
exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and that is part of our white glove onboarding process, like we like to call it. We help you all the way till you feel comfortable. We can have as many training sessions as you need. We can record those training sessions, send it to you for future reference, make tutorials, everything that will help you feel comfortable with the system and roll it out successfully.
Exactly. And then, wow, we have a lot of questions coming in. How soon will text be available in Canada? Daniel, do you know the answer to that question?
Oh, that depends on our provider. So I'm afraid I'll need to check with them to provide a better reply.
Right, but if you send us an email, Colette, our email is Daniel. Well, you can email Daniel at daniel@vinteum.io, or me, Layla@vinteum.io. We can follow up on that with you.
Please.
And then if David asks, if our public contact section starts receiving junk mail, can we block email addresses? So I think you're thinking of the contact us section on our website, which can receive some spam. Can we block those email addresses? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. However, some spam is bound to happen in that contact us form. If it's too much, you can also very easily take that section out or off from their website. That way, no one will be able to send you any private messages, or you can rotate that email to which those forms are going to. That way, the responsibility is shared between different individuals.
Or yeah, change the email address. So rather than going to your personal one, maybe it could go to board at the name of your association. So that way everyone sees it, or create a different email address that you look at a little bit less, but is still there. Maybe something like that. All right. Anything else, you guys?
I think those were all the questions.
All right, well, we still have a few minutes, so if you have any more, please do send them. But while we wait for any more last minute questions, I'd just like to go through how you can get in touch with us. So like I said, you can email us. So I put down in the chat, it's daniel@vinteum.io, or me, it's layla@vinteum.io. Then we have our chat. So in Neigbrs itself, in the master administrator or administrator profiles, we have a little orange button in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you send a message there, the team will get it. And often 99% of the time, it's Daniel that answers. And we aim to answer all of those in less than a minute. So please do send that. Obviously, we're only online 9 to 5 EST. So if you send them out of hours, we'll answer them as soon as possible. Same thing goes for phones. So you can call us on 844-900-0910. Again, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. If you call out of that, we will call you the next morning. And finally, we have our help center. So this is available 24/7. I'll put the link here in the chat as well. But it is vinteum.talk.help. Here it is in the chat, and that has step-by-steps. It has our product update. We have a section specifically for residents as well, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to find information. And then for board members and managers, we have 3 specific sections on operation, administration, and communication. And you can just search in the search bar any questions that you might have out of hours. Please do look there, as it has a lot of information as well as videos, and our manuals, both resident manual and administrator manuals. Did you want to add anything else there, Daniel?
Well, I think you said pretty much it. We are always happy to meet with any of your boards to provide any training, etc. So please let us know.
Please, definitely. All right. No other questions came in. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much for coming. It's been really great to see all your questions, and I hope this webinar has been helpful. We'll send you the recording of it within the next today or tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please do send us an email or answer the email with the recording, and we'll be in touch with you as soon as we can. We do try to answer emails in an hour, so really as soon as we can. So thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon, and please do let us know if you have any more questions. Bye.
Bye, everyone.